Welcome to I guess this is our sixth week already. Hard to believe we've flown through this, but I thank you and everyone for tuning in each of these weeks over the last month and a bit for our online marketing for mining company series. We'll start our final week here in just a few moments. And as always, if you have a chance, please post now in the chat section on the right hand side, as Fareed just did. Let us know your name and maybe let us know where you're from. Always great to know who's joining us, where they've come in from, and any questions, obviously, through today's webinar, if you can post on the right hand side. And I'll definitely address anything at the end, whether it's questions regarding today's topics or anything of the previous stuff we've covered, websites, social media, anything to do with online marketing. I will be glad to comment on and answer on the right hand side. Again, my name is Scott Briard. I am the CEO of Stock Marketing. My team and I have the absolute pleasure of providing online marketing service to dozens of publicly traded companies. Most are mining companies, which is why I think this was very obvious for us to tackle online marketing, attracting investors for mining companies these last 6 weeks. So before I begin, sincere thank you to all of those that have been with us for these weeks. Hopefully some of the knowledge that we brought to you has been valuable. I definitely appreciate any of the emails I've received over the last few weeks regarding the topics, especially those that have emailed me and said, hey, have a look at my LinkedIn profile. I've updated on your suggestions and thoughts. So thank you to those that have gone ahead and finished off anything along the way. And I certainly appreciate the emails following to see what you've done, whether it's your website, your social. Today, we're really going to dive into some of the stats we've looked at. And the one that's going to really draw attention to today's topics is the 6 hours online we are spending now. Incredible. I think the pandemic has certainly increased this number. And I think it's only going to get bigger. Many of us are now working from home. And I believe the hours that we may have spent previous commuting to work has put us in front of our screens for even more time. And as an executive or staff of a mining company, I think this is an important factor when really determining how you're going to tell your company's story, how you're going to reach investors. Very few events are happening, as we know. And right now, especially here in North America, with growing numbers of COVID, what events are coming up? Is there going to be a PDAC? I'm certain these are a lot of questions for a lot of executives and directors of public companies. So investors are now, comfortable at home. And my honest opinion is that online marketing is the most effective way to really capture their attention. So today, let's look at two ways in today's webinar, starting with email distribution. And no doubt, email plays a large role in our lives. All of us, 4 billion humans now on Earth, have access to email. Seems to be the last thing we check before we go to bed. And as you can see here, 58% of the world, it's the first thing we do in the morning. So really, as the stats show, email, is now checked an average of 20 times a day. People are opening up their phone or their computer and checking their email. So capturing your potential investors or even current shareholders' email address is crucial to the success of your public company. And more importantly, knowing what to do with it and how to send out an effective email is really key to this. So let's talk about capturing it. Most public companies seem to have the list. And I know when I became a director 5 years ago of a mining company, the CEO had a list. His personal assistant took care of the list. And it was pretty much, connections he had made over, years in the industry, business cards he picked up at events, meeting people. The list is incredibly important as a marketing effort. And many don't realize that. So I think it's something, I guess, that's overlooked. And the fact that you can use your website as well, as you can see here in our example with Galway Metals. It's an example of a way to capture these email addresses as well. So we built Galway Metals website and using a email service that's available, and there's many out there, whether it's MailChimp or Constant Contact, you can add a box to your website to collect more email addresses to add to this list that you have. And what's so great about using these services is very much like the way we've set up Galway, is that it will actually collect these email addresses for you and store them in their software that you have access to. And there you can send out email addresses all at once to the entire list, which is fantastic, rather than sending out emails one at a time, trying to batch up too many emails and addresses in one email out of your email software on your desktop, your phone, turns into spam. So one thing to note, that when you are emailing out, if it's a news release, make sure it doesn't go out until the content's already crossed the wire. Um, so this sort of emailing as marketing, whether you're using a list that, maybe the CEO has collected over the years or executives there with your team, you use an opportunity such as we did with the Galway website, and most definitely every mining website for public companies should definitely have an email collecting sign up box as we have here, and I would put it on the bottom of every page. It gives you a chance to get permission to email these people. And by emailing these potential investors is really staying top of mind with them. They've given you permission, you collect the email address, and by sending out information and having it read often, it allows you to really stay there, top of mind with them the next time they're logging into their trading account. It's very much, I'm going to send a little bit of a story to this. It's very much like Coca-Cola. If you have a chance every day to get your brand, to get your message across to potential consumers, potential investors, obviously for public mining companies, you know that the next time that they're making a decision on an investment that they may be considering you. And it's very much as you go through your day, if you think about Coca-Cola, especially now at Christmas, it's out there and the commercials are there. Coca-Cola is hoping to remind you enough through the day of their brand so that when you do sit down at a restaurant that night, when you walk into a gas station for a drink when you're thirsty, when you're at the grocery store buying beverages, that their brand stands out the most. And that's really their top of mind marketing to you, is that they're on billboards, they're on the side of trucks, there are jingles playing on commercials on TV. They're hoping that it's enough that you remember their brand when you're there making the purchase. And if you took Coca-Cola and they stopped all marketing, let's say for a month, no advertisements on the side of a hockey arena, no trucks on the road, no commercials playing on TV, there's more of a chance than something like Pepsi can make their way into your mind. And there you go. Next time you have to make a decision for a beverage, Pepsi could be your choice because they've gotten to you that day. It's very much like public companies. The more often that you can pop up in a potential investor's mind, the more content you have going out. Again, great websites, search engine optimization, social media posting. And here we are talking about emails. The more opportunity you have to get in front of a potential investor, the more opportunity you have of them selecting your company the next time they're making an investment. So make sure you're capturing emails and make sure these addresses are being stored somewhere like an email service such as MailChimp or Constant Contact. Now, what to do with these emails when you capture them? Well, as I mentioned earlier, email marketing services that generate these sign-up boxes also allow you to send out emails as well. It allows you to distribute the email addresses all at once to the entire list. And even better, it also lets you know how many people have opened, providing you with some feedback on your content and whether people are actually paying attention. Content, well, emails that could go out could be news releases the day of. Again, like I mentioned, make sure that your email is going out after the news release has already crossed the wire. Also, great content to email these potential investors include videos of CEO interviews. You can add PDFs of updated investor presentations. Anytime you have an executive speaking at an event, you can send out information regarding that location or a link to it being online. You can actually send out any information that you believe an investor would want to know and receive and read about your company and be able to convert them from an investor into a shareholder. So great opportunity to maintain communication with potential investors. Investors visiting your website will always be excited to add their email address if it allows them to receive company updates. Don't overdo it. One email a week at most for a public company is probably great. Obviously, if you have 2 or more news releases a week, make sure it's consistent. Do send them out each time they occur. No one wants to receive a news release and then not receive the next 3 by email. Make sure it's consistent, but really don't overdo it. Don't spam them. Make sure these email addresses and these people receiving them, really only receive 1 a week unless there's more news releases to it. So a great way and one of the most effective ways of marketing to potential investors, email distribution. They've given you their email address for a reason. Make sure you take advantage of it. And again, tell your company's story to these potential investors. And this takes us to our second topic and something many people really don't know about. And let's draw a bit of a scenario because I think a lot of you have probably seen this. You can see there on our example on the page, the Galway Metals website. And when you visit it, there it pops up. Would you like to allow for more company information? Can't really read the text. It's a little too small, but it's something along those lines. So it says either Allow, or I don't know what the cancel, I guess, is the other option that's there. The allow is nice and big, and it's bold, and it's blue, and it's easy to be clicked. Very much like flash players back in the late 1990s. When you went to a website, if it had a flash player, you had to authorize that website to play a video in a flash browser or flash player inside the browser. And this is very much similar. So a lot of websites now, many shopping, many e-commerce websites have these. And it's incredible when you start looking at some of these statistics and what this does. So if everybody heads off to visit Galway Metals website when you have a chance, the pop-up will be there. And as it is on many of our clients' websites, by clicking allow, on any website that you see this on, e-commerce or other businesses, you're allowing the company to notify you on your browser of any information with a clickable link. So imagine that. Anybody could be busy on their desktop doing work on Microsoft Word, Excel spreadsheets. They could be browsing the internet. They could be doing almost anything. If you've given the company permission for a web notification, there in the top right-hand corner of your screen will pop up their company notification. It's incredible, which is why click-through rates are up to 30% and web traffic increases up to 25%. It's absolutely insane. It's huge. Because a lot of people are clicking this allow button just out of simple, hey, let's see what's on this website. Sure, I'll allow you permission, not realizing it actually attaches them to the company, which is great for marketers. Now it's an opportunity when it's involved in, and this is going to get a little nerdy, and you will definitely need your web installer to figure this out, to add this to a company. But when you see rates of 30% open rates for click-throughs and you see 25% web traffic increase, any web designer will want to take advantage of whatever the software and this opportunity is. And as a marketer of a public company, especially in mining where you're trying to tell a story all the time, this is a great way to get in front of investors and a great way to capture their attention. So installed in WordPress, what we use for our websites, for our clients, and for our own website is a plugin that offers web notifications. And there's many out there, and you can do your research, and your web designer can do their research. And by installing this allows each time a visitor visits your website for this pop-up to appear. And by clicking allow, the web visitor now attaches themselves to your company, their browser. So each and every time a news release is added to your website as a post on WordPress that you want there shared on your website, it is also sent to all of the subscribers involved in this web notification. A little bit confusing. Your web designer will definitely get this, but it's an incredible way to send small information and a clickable link out to potentially hundreds or thousands of potential investors. Incredible that it's available. It is. It was shocking to me last year when I learned about this opportunity, took advantage of it for our company and for all of our clients immediately. But have a look the next time you're visiting a website. If this does pop up, click allow. And then watch once in a while, and on the top right-hand corner of your browser, you may notice notifications popping up from this company. It's easy to go in and unsubscribe to your browser, whether it's Chrome or Firefox doesn't allow, but I guess Safari would be another one. You will notice information popping up from these companies. Anyway, a great way for you as a mining company to market to these potential investors. A great addition to your website, just like collecting an email address. This collects a browser subscriber and allows you to post information. And again, things like news releases, links to videos where your CEO or executives have been interviewed, events upcoming for any of your executive that they're attending, investor presentation updates. Lead them off the web visitor to your page on your website with your investor presentation to download. Anyway, lots of great opportunities to capture the attention of investors, and something that's incredibly unique. And now for a short time, as not many companies do know about this, click-through rates are now at 30%. Web traffic increases by 25% for those that include this on their website. Huge opportunities now with this opportunity. So have your web designer, your web builder, think about and consider adding web notifications to your website, and sort of sit back and watch the numbers. It provides analytics in the software that you'll use, and you'll be able to see how many subscribers you've captured and how much attention it actually brings to your company. Another incredible way to really build access to investors and eyeballs following your story. So those are today's two topics, and I guess that kind of ends our 6-week webinar series. Any questions at any time, the right-hand side is always a great way to reach me here during this. And any of the past episodes, if you do want to go back and see any of the information we've shared regarding websites, LinkedIn, social media marketing, YouTube and podcasts, you can visit stockmarketing.ca/Scott. I'll add this link into the chat section for anybody that'd like to click through to it. Great way to reach the past 5 episodes, and I will make sure that the 6th episode gets there later today as well. Stay tuned. In the new year, I plan to do this weekly. Not sure the time because I know this does have an impact on the West Coast. So we may do something like Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, allowing the West Coast to be online with us at 10 a.m. And each week, 15 minutes of covering online marketing topics and things that you could do as a public company to capture more attention of investors. But look for an announcement. I have all of your email addresses because you've signed up for this. So I will definitely put this together and send out in the new year any information regarding it. So thank you today for joining us. Kevin, thank you for being with us from the UK each week. It's been a pleasure. I hope you've enjoyed the last 6 weeks. And most importantly, I hope you and your family have a wonderful holiday season. Stay safe and stay healthy, everyone. Thank you.